Hello my friends, welcome to a new video. Today another exciting comparison between two direct drive bases, the Thrustmaster T818 and the CAMMUS LP8. Something that I normally don't do, but I want to mention it now. So thank you very much already for all the subscriptions that you have made on my channel. I just passed 2,000 subscribers and I'm so happy about it. So thank you very much.
The design of the two wheelbases make them unique if you look at the competition. The difference here is that the Thrustmaster has a couple of corners more than the LP8 does. A shout out to both manufacturers for their out-of-the-box thinking. Which design you like best for aesthetics is personal. However, with a bottom surface of the LP8, the provided pre-drilled holes will be able to be attached to more current day rigs than the hexagonal Thrustmaster. Both also feature a handy quick release system on the front, and another similarity would be the integration of LEDs in the wheelbases. While the LEDs of the LP8 are hardly visible at all, those of the Thrustmaster are very useful when driving with a round wheel. I really like this addition. Unfortunately, if you drive an F1 wheel, the LEDs will be hidden behind it too. A last thing to mention, which I also can appreciate a lot, Thrustmaster has exchangeable plates for their wheelbases, and while I only see 6 different ones in the plain colors and a price tag as low as $29.99, I have to applaud them also for adding this feature.
Build quality, well, we have the Thrustmaster. If you saw the review of the Thrustmaster, well, it is made out of plastic except for the metal plates on the side, but they don't do a lot except for the aesthetics part. The LP8 is completely made out of metal. Another thing is the LEDs, so they both have LEDs. The Thrustmaster in front, which is very well placed, it works super well. With the LP8, it's on the back, and well, it's not that visible when you actually when they are on. You don't see it because it doesn't reflect on anything in my setup, so that's a bit of a shame. Something else, the quick release of the CAMMUS, while it is less easy to do, but it is more sturdy, so it is completely made out of metal. Also Thrustmaster made out of plastic. So build quality in general, I would prefer the LP8 over the T818.
With 10 Nm of holding torque, the Thrustmaster wheelbase can simulate most cars out there, and because of the larger scale available, there will be just more values of force feedback that it can send through the steering wheel. This, in combination with a very good firmware, makes this base really stand out.
I think the motor of the LP8 is very good, but the firmware that they have, it still needs some tweaking.
When driving the Thrustmaster T818 on a track in ACC, you really are strapped to your seat when it comes to intense driving. Especially with their beautiful F1 wheel, the drive feels exceptionally fluent and supple. This is the same for the LP8. Both also will make sure you can skip the workout exercises for your arms if you up the power a bit. I enjoyed the ride with both the wheelbases plenty, but there was still a difference between both. While the CAMMUS felt very precise and almost clinically smooth, the T818 was just able to give me a bit more zest. This was especially noticeable in the fast left-to-right corner on the track. The Thrustmaster made me have more control in that corner than the CAMMUS. Note that this is a setting. The sim driving experience and know-how of Thrustmaster exceeds that of CAMMUS, and it is clearly noticeable on the track. But this also means that the CAMMUS is likely to improve in quality, since this can be improved most of the time with firmware and software updates. In BeamNG, the difference was more noticeable. Here, I really felt that the LP8 was doing me short. It was certainly a very pleasant drive, but the sentiment that the T818 provided was far superior. This could be felt in the road details, so the surface you are driving on, the up and down in the road, and so on. But also when braking. The T818 made you feel when you overcooked it, and I missed that with the CAMMUS. And in this game, the CAMMUS also experienced more clipping than T818, which hardly suffered from any clipping at all. Again, keep in mind the experiences of Thrustmaster, because what the LP8 delivers is already quite good by itself. but when compared with a mammoth like the T818, it shares the fate of a lot of other wheelbases in this force category. It will look mediocre.
If you look at the ecosystems of both, I think Thrustmaster wins here because it's just a bigger ecosystem that they have. However, there is something that I have in the ecosystem of CAMMUS that I don't have in the Thrustmaster ecosystem, and that is a good, nice leather steering wheel of a good size. That's something that I don't understand why Thrustmaster doesn't bring out just a simple steering wheel, leather steering wheel, quite big. It goes beyond my comprehension. But in general, I would say the ecosystem of Thrustmaster is larger and is a clear winner if you compare it towards the one of CAMMUS.
Software-wise, Thrustmaster opted for keeping it simple, and while that works for a large part of the drivers out there, the CAMMUS software can provide just a bit more settings to play with. So here, and this is almost the same for every software compared to the Thrustmaster one, advanced versus simplistic.
So the Thrustmaster comes in at €650. The LP8 comes in at $299. So there is a vast difference. It's 2 times as expensive the Thrustmaster than the CAMMUS, and that's quite of a difference. Of course, there are some hidden costs still, like the tax that you need to pay, but still $299 versus $650. It's a world of difference. Compatibility, well, that's easy. There is not a difference between both. They are only both compatible with PC. Clearly, from the driving experience, the Thrustmaster T818 is the better choice. I mean, I noticed it in Assetto Corsa. The difference was a bit less, but in BeamNG the difference was there, especially in the road details that you feel. The T818 just gave more of immersion than the LP8 did. But if you look at the price, so the price, it is double the price of the Thrustmaster, and I wouldn't say that the immersion feels twice as good with the Thrustmaster as the LP8.
In the end, you have a choice to make. At one side there is a T818, which is obviously a good all-round product with a premium price. It will not easily disappoint you. Or do you go with CAMMUS, which is good for hardware but could visibly use some improvement when it comes to soft and firmware? I think, looking at the state of the hardware and software now, that it is already very good value. For the price of one T818 base, I can buy a complete set with a decent steering wheel and very good pedals with CAMMUS. I also think that the driving sensation can still vastly improve with the available hardware. But it's not the case yet. It might or it might not. That's the risk that you take by choosing the CAMMUS LP8.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you had something from this video. Leave a like if you did. If you buy new hardware for CAMMUS, I have an affiliate link. I have a discount code, so please use it if you do. I will see you all next video. Bye bye.